Good morning, I'm Craig Christoffersen. I'm here for your morning devotion. I am the young adults pastor at Emmanuel Lighthouse United Pentecostal Church, and today I want to talk to you about the subject, no pain, no rain. I think probably throughout, at least definitely at the start of the pandemic, there was a big freak out, and rightfully so, somewhat, but there's a massive freak out about, is the vaccine the mark of the beast? We had a lot of people wondering about that, and certainly now I think we're kind of spurring into another bit of a freak out with the COVID passport, and what does this mean, and what does this entail? And I think to a certain extent it's somewhat warranted, because it's our alarm bells going off is what it is we know what the Bible says about the end days and things that are happening. But I think one thing that we've kind of forgotten through everything that we have gone through is that ultimately the Bible does promise things are going to get worse before Jesus comes back. Yes, the mark of the beast will come into place before Jesus comes back. Things are going to get worse. Our rights and our freedoms will be taken away. You will only be able to purchase if you carry that mark, buy and receive goods. And so I think we kind of forget a little bit that in order for Jesus to come back, things have to get worse, because it's what is prophesied and it's what is promised us. And so I think in this time a little bit, we have a mentality that we all want to go see Jesus, but none of us really want him to come back. Because in order for Jesus to come back, that means that all the bad stuff has to happen. And so I'm not saying we need to lie down and not fight and have everything, all our rights and freedoms taken away from us. I'm not trying to say that. But what I am trying to say is we do need to realize that as we head towards the end times, which we can certainly see that we are, we need to be reminded and remember that things are promised to get worse. Persecution is promised for the end time church. And pain is part of that process. One thing we need to remember is Revelation 5:10. And have made us kings and priests to our God, it says, and we shall reign on the earth. We are going to reign with Jesus. Galatians 3:29 says, and if you are Christ, then you are Abraham's seed and heirs according to the promise. We are Jesus' heirs. We are promised to reign with him. 2 Timothy 2:12 says, if we endure, we shall also reign with him. If we deny him, he also will deny us. So we are promised that we are going to reign with Christ. We are going to be part of that authority structure. But a part of the process to get to the reign part, to get to the kingdom part, you have to go through the pain part. And I think that's something that we're kind of forgetting. And so I want to bring that up and talk about that today and raise awareness about that today. To get to the kingdom part, you have to go through the pain part. We, of course, know the life of David quite well. We preach about him a lot. We use him in Bible studies a lot, and we refer to him a lot. And at the beginning of David's life, he's a shepherd watching over the flock, and he gets anointed to be the king. And I'm sure that if any of us were David at that point, we would have liked to step into the palace, into the royal castle and say, all right, here I am. I have been anointed to be the king. Put me on the throne. But that's not what happened at all with David. He went back to tending the sheep. And then David has a wonderful victory with God on his side fighting for him, and he pronounces, I'm going to defeat you, Goliath, in the name of God and by the power of God, and he does that, and he has a wonderful victory. And does he become king after that? No. In fact, for quite a few years, he is being chased around by the current King Saul. And he is so under persecution that he's hiding out in caves. And remember, he killed Goliath, who was a Philistine. He's under so much persecution that he has to flee his own homeland, which he is promised and anointed to reign over. And he goes and hides out with the Philistines again. He hides out with them, with the enemy that he defeated already. He has to take refuge because of the pain and the persecution that he's going through. There was a lot of pain for David before he ascended onto the throne. And likewise for us, we are not exempt from that pain. If you were at Ontario Youth Convention, you heard persecution is coming your way, but don't worry. God goes before you. We have a promise that we are going to reign with him, but we need to go through the pain first. And certainly a painful life was lived by the prophet Ezekiel. He was told by God, you are going to go and you're going to carry my message to the people. But in Ezekiel 3:7, he's told, but the house of Israel will not be willing to listen to you. Imagine that being your ministry. Ezekiel, you are going to go and carry my word to the nation, but they're not even going to listen to you. That is a painful process. That is a miserable life. I'm sure many of us would say, I don't want to sign up for that. I don't want to sign up for preaching the gospel and have no results, have no one listen to me. But God had a purpose and a plan and an intention for Ezekiel. It was a painful process for him, but ultimately, he gets to reign with God in the end. And I think that's what I really want to get at today, and I want us to think about today, is yes, we are going through a painful process. Yes, we are going through a quickening to the end times, and it's painful, and it's hard, and it's a fight. But there's a funny enough, I want to close out with a rap lyric today that I really like and attributes to this. It says, they say it's no pain, no gain, but it's really no pain, no reign. We are promised to reign with Christ, but there's a painful process that we must go through in order to get that. So I want to encourage you today, hold on to that promise that you're going to reign with him. God goes before you and he's with you.